Here are some further examples of using the citation, bibliography, and references toolbox specifically within the context of science write-ups and lab reports. So in here I've got a picture that I actually took from someone else, which means I have to reference it. I've already somewhere else in the document created the new source. I picked new source and I filled in all of this information regarding this particular picture. So now what I'm going to do is reference this picture. So I'm going to click in here and I'll say insert that actual citation. It actually comes from this person, so I'm going to click there and notice that it inserts right in here. Later on, what I'm going to do at the end, and this already shows you what it already looks like, so I'll delete and do it again. So I'm at some point in time going to insert my bibliography, and I currently have 5 right now. If I go and create another new source, then I'm going to have to delete this bibliography, and then I'm going to have to reinsert the new bibliography, and then it'll have 6 references. Okay, so let's go back and put in a few more references that I've to indicate that I took this information from someone else. So let's see, according to this classic height, there's a calculation in here. Where did I get this classic kinematics equation? Well, I took that from somewhere, so I'm going to cite that, and I'm going to insert that source. Sorry, not insert the source. It's actually came from this particular source right here. And it actually came from 2 sources, so I'm also going to put a space in, and it also came from this source. So both of these sources, and if you need to take a look at this, that sentence says both of those sources are claiming that this statement is true. There's nothing wrong with mentioning 2 different sources, kind of like adds credence or power to your argument. Somewhere else I did a calculation here where I estimated the total mass. And I'm going to indicate here that in a note, and now I need to insert that citation, or I need to say where I got that fact from, and it's sitting right in here. And let's see, there was something else I did somewhere else in here, and I'll just go and check my bibliography again. There was something about how much the average can weighs. And we'll say based on average can mass of or can mass of 18 grams based on, and again I'm going to say where I took that information or got that information from, and there it is there. Okay, so a couple of things about this. First of all, in science we don't normally use this sort of citation. This is what they call Chicago or APA style. We prefer a more scientific notation, and that's because quite often you'll see in science articles a single statement may have 7 or 8 references attached to it, and so before long the references, if they're written in Chicago format, the references actually become longer than the sentence itself. So what we do in science, and we're looking up here now, is in science we use some of the science standards, which IEEE and ISO are science standards. So now what I'm going to show you is we've already inserted our citation, created our source citations using this app, and now if somebody wants to complain and say, well, you did it in the wrong format, you're supposed to put commas after the thing, it's like, okay, fine, what format do you want? So you're looking down here while I pick APA, and it's like, okay, you want APA format, then the program Word will present it in APA. Oh no, we don't use APA, we use Chicago. Fine. Science standards. So there's an example of a science standard, 1 and 2. In other words, references 1 and 2. And if we come down here and check out the bibliography, you can see that the bibliography and references have been numbered. And if for some reason someone insists that this reference here gets reordered, then if you reorder it there, although I don't know why you would, why not just rely on Word to do it properly, then this would automatically renumber for you. Notice as well that this reference here renumbered, and this number down in here, or this reference, changed to 3 and 4. And again, if you wanted to do a slightly different thing, MLA, that's the standard for MLA, but in science we use IEEE or ISO standards. So we'll go first ISO standard, ka-ching, right there. Bob is your uncle. Bear in mind also, if you make any changes, Control A for select everything, and then what we're going to do is we're going to say update fields. And that means if you've changed the order of these things around, then updating the field will, update the fields. Same with this in here. If we take this table right in here, which is currently table number 2, I'm going to say cut that out and put that table for some strange reason in here and paste that there. It says table 2. Control A, update the field, and now it's updated to table 1. Also remember in here, if we want to make reference to our results, we might want to say something like C, and we're going to insert a cross-reference. In here we're going to say C, and it was a table. I don't want the entire caption, I just want it to say C table 1, and that's it. That's the option I picked there. And click, and notice how here it says C table 1. Just to prove and belabor the point, we're going to highlight this table, we're going to copy it, we're going to put it back down in here and paste it. So table 1 now is table 2, Control A, highlight, update field. This is now table 2, and if we go back to that inserted reference right in here, it says C table 2.